Hey curious kids, it's time for Science Thursday with me, Dr. Martha. Before we get started doing science, you want to make sure that you are wearing the right kind of clothes. Oftentimes we can get dirty during science, so make sure you are wearing clothes that your parents say are okay to get dirty. Second, sometimes we use chemicals during science that can cause your skin to be irritated. I will always tell you if you need to wear gloves or if you need to wear goggles or if you need to wear some kind of fancy cover-up like my lab coat. So look out for warnings in my science videos just in case you need personal protective equipment. Today's experiment comes from 365 Science Activities, published by Usborne Publishing and distributed by PaperPie Learning. Here comes science. You're going to build on the experiment that we did last week with density, and we are going to add a component of surface tension here. So in addition to the materials that you had last week, you can eliminate the honey. You don't need that. You just need the water and the oil for this one. The food dye helps you see the difference between the water and the oil in the layers. And then you are going to need some salt. In order to get started, we are going to put some salt into this mixture. So you've already put your water in the glass, you've colored it with the food dye, and then you've put the oil on top of it. So we've got a light shining through this glass from the back so that you can see what's going on. So what we're gonna do with this one is we are just gonna put the salt, pour some salt into the top of the glass and watch what happens. Now, when we pour the salt through the oil, the salt on the edges of it has little free electrons that are going to try to attract the oil to it. This is
kind of like a lava lamp.
It's going to kind of work like a lava lamp a little bit. When we put the salt in, it's going to attract the oil to it. And then let's watch what happens. So can you guys see what's happening?
It's bringing it down.
What's happening?
There's a kind of lava lamp that they use powder with the water. They mix that up.
So let's put another spoonful of salt in there and see what happens as the salt goes through. So the salt goes through. It's taking some of that oil with it. And what's happening?
The oil's going back up.
When does the oil go back up?
After it pulls it down.
So it pulls the oil down into the water. And then,
Can I put one in?
what happens to salt when we put it in water?
It's dissolving.
It's dissolving. So the oil that was attracted to the edge of the salt crystals gets pulled down into the water. Then the salt dissolves in the water. And what happens to the oil? Now what's it holding on to? If the salt dissolves and it was holding on to the salt, what's the oil holding on to?
Nothing.
It's not holding on to anything anymore. And so the oil then rises back up because why? What's less dense?
The oil.
The oil's less dense than the water.
I'm gonna pour some in. Whoa! It actually makes bubbles on the oil.
So as you can see, this is a really fun one to do with the kids. It's obvious what's happening in the glass. There's lots of things to observe. There's lots of things to see. So play with this on your own, you guys. It is your turn.